Vagabond was a 1985 film, later released in North America in 1986, directed by Agnes Varda, and it is one. It's not a French New Wave film, but it's an independent French film. So if you've never heard of Vagabond, then I understand why. If a foreign language film was like super big budgeted, and you don't know it, like if you don't know Parasite, then it's kind of crazy. But yeah, Vagabond from the 80s. So if you're unsure about what that is, then it's understandable. But came out after the French New Wave era, even though Varda herself did a couple of French New Wave films. But yeah, this film is it's one of those things where it doesn't really have a really strong storyline to it, but it still really hits you hard at a very emotional and gut level to it. It is about this young woman in her 20s named Mona, and she hitchhikes around France's countryside. I mean, and she's constantly hitchhiking, constantly walking, constantly hiking, and she just has this backpack with her. Doesn't have a whole lot of clothes. She wants to be free in the world, and she meets up with this massive array of people. Some take advantage of her, some want to help her. And this is an episodic film, okay? Now, when she goes to a different spot or meets a different person, it's not a case of each episode getting more and more shocking, more and more taboo. It is so some of the things, like one episode may be super shocking, the other episode may be super normal. It's all about Mona's mental health and how each thing affects her to a different degree. And when you watch the film, she's very normal when the movie starts off, but as the movie progresses, her mental health is kind of deteriorating a little bit. Sure, she is a free spirit that hitchhikes along France's countryside, but ultimately, I guess you could say this movie gives a bad name to free-spirited people. In 2007, there was that movie called Into the Wild, and in 2014, I believe, there was that Reese Witherspoon movie called Wild, about free spirits that just hike along the wilderness. Well, Vagabond is kind of similar to that, but I would say that Vagabond kind of gives a bad name to that whole free-spirited roaming kind of person. Basically says, it's good to get all this traveling out of your system, but this is what's going to happen if you don't end up, if you don't head back to civilization sometime. Yeah, Mona is one that she kind of remains mysterious throughout the whole thing, like why she absolutely refuses to return to society, even though everything else in her escapades are kind of crazy. Yeah, most of the people that we do meet are developed pretty well, but Mona herself, movies may hinge on her, but she still remains kind of mysterious. And she is a very great actress, and most of the other actors in this are pretty good. It may be one of those films where it takes its leisurely time with things, but you sit through it, and when it finishes, wow, you'll never forget it. I'm gonna give Vagabond from 1985 3.5 stars out of 4. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like this video, and I'll definitely be posting more things in the next couple of days. Have a good day, folks.